Munchies, welcome to the channel. If you're new, for a lot of us, summer is near and it's warming up by the day, so it's about time that I head to Starbucks craving cold drinks instead of hot. Today, I'm gonna share some low carb options that you can get at Starbucks that are cold drinks. We won't focus on hot today, but let me know if you want that video made. These all have less than 10 grams of carbs and or sugar per drink, and I've got a free PDF that you can download in the description that shares the drinks and what to ask for, so you don't need to take notes while watching. Let's keep in mind, this 10 grams number is arbitrary. There aren't really rules for low carb or keto because everyone's tolerance is going to be different, but I had to choose a number to make the video, so I picked 10. You should choose what suits your needs. I talk more about low carb lifestyles and carb tolerances in my Keto 101 video, and I do some crazy sugar comparisons in this video because 10 grams of sugar might be more or less than you really think. So check them out using the links in the description if you'd like. First, let's talk about Starbucks iced coffee. Now, many don't realize that by default, the iced coffee at Starbucks includes the classic syrup. So a venti or 20-ounce black iced coffee contains 6 pumps of that syrup, which is 30 grams of sugar. So if you ask for a black iced coffee, that's what you get. If you don't want the sugar, you must request that it is unsweetened. Ask for no sweetener or syrup if you want it to not contain sugar or carbs. The Starbucks cold brew is not sweetened. So if you get an iced black cold brew, it won't cost you any sugar or carbs unless you add milk. Same goes for the iced cafe americano. As is, it's just espresso, ice, and water, so you're safe on carbs and sugar regardless of the size. The iced tea is also sweetened. A venti Tivana shaken iced black tea contains 16 grams of sugar. Now, you'd need to specifically request unsweetened to avoid sugar for the iced teas. More on those in a minute. What if you like iced coffee or tea with milk? Let's spend a second talking about our options at Starbucks. Coconut milk is a common low carb favorite, but the one at Starbucks does have added sugar. Actually, every non-dairy milk has added sugar, at least in the US. Some locations can carry almond milk without sugar, but not all. The coconut milk is 80 calories, 5 grams of fat, and 8 grams of sugar in 1 cup. So if you're adding a splash, it could just be a few grams of sugar, like when you get a venti iced coffee unsweetened or an iced cold brew with coconut milk. But if you're getting something milk-based, like a venti iced latte with coconut milk, it's gonna be 11 grams of sugar. If you get it as a grande, however, it goes down to 8 grams of sugar. To keep sugar and carbs down though, the better option at Starbucks is the almond milk. It's 60 calories per cup with 4 grams of fat, 5 grams of carbs, 3 of which are sugar, and 2 grams of protein. That means you can get a venti iced cafe latte with almond milk for 100 calories and 5 grams of sugar, or a grande for 3 grams. Other iced coffee drinks that work: an iced flat white. A grande with coconut milk is 7 grams of sugar and 9 grams of carbs, and with almond milk, it's only 3 grams of sugar for a grande, or 5 grams of sugar with 9 grams of carbs for the venti. Many people familiar with a low-carb lifestyle know that black iced coffee, unsweetened with heavy cream, is a great drink. Oh man, it is so tasty, but it's good to note that they add a lot of that heavy whipping cream. If you watch them make it, you'll see that they don't measure, and it ends up being about 1/3 to 1/2 cup of heavy whipping cream in a venti iced coffee. So back up, 1 cup of heavy whipping cream is over 800 calories and almost 90 grams of fat. So a venti black iced coffee with heavy whipping cream can rack up over 400 calories and almost 50 grams of fat. Now, yes, it's key on a low carb diet to eat more fat, but do I want 50 grams of my fat tally to go to that drink? Well, you might, but I don't. And either way, it's good to at least have the information. If I get it, I add heavy whipping cream myself, and you can do this at Starbucks. They will let you physically put it into the drink, and I just add a splash. Just know that even 2 ounces or a quarter cup is over 200 calories. Again, I'm not demonizing fat or calories, but just bringing awareness to the fact that heavy whipping cream really racks it up. Another tasty summertime drink that is manageable for low carbers or anyone looking for less sugar is a passion tango iced tea unsweetened. Of course, make sure that you're not getting the lemonade version. And I like to add a splash of coconut or almond milk. If you get it unsweetened, your only macros would be from the milk, since tea does not contain calories or carbs. And I'm not able to calculate the nutrition of this tea with milk on the website, but I did the calculation on my own to show you. With coconut milk accounting for 2 ounces or a quarter cup of the milk, and you can always use less of course, the drink will only cost you 2 grams of sugar. Add a splash of heavy whipping cream to that passion tango iced tea instead, and you end up with the low carbers version of the pink drink. Option to add a sugar-free syrup to any of these, of course, but I prefer to avoid the artificial sweetener and get unsweetened instead. I personally go for the heavy whipping cream over the sweetener. If you are a tea fan, it's also worth noting that you can combine the different types of teas and infusions without sweetener in any way you'd like. You just have to ask. So they have a shaken black, green, and white tea. They've paired each with an infusion: peach with the white tea, pineapple with the black tea, and strawberry with the green tea. They default come with sweetener pumps from the syrup, but you can get them all unsweetened. You can also mix and match. So I often like to get the peach infusion with the green tea, for instance, and their other infusions on their own do not contain calories or carbs. So as long as you ask for the drink unsweetened, you have a lot of combinations that you can try with those iced teas and infusions. Remember, I am not talking about the lemonade, which does have more sugar, just the tea infusions on their own. Okay, next. I know a lot of people in the health and or low carb community try to not do dairy and coffee, but if you're not opposed, which I assume you're not if you're having heavy whipping cream, and are solely looking to lower carb intake, you have a few more options for cold drinks at Starbucks. One is the iced cappuccino with cold foam. Now, they need to use dairy milk to make the foam, so you can't swap it out. But if you get a grande, it's got 8 grams of sugar and 9 grams of carbs. The other dairy option is the vanilla sweet cream cold brew. Now, if you are a sweet iced coffee fan, this is a very good drink, but the sweet cream is pre-made with sugar and dairy and you can't swap it out. If you get a tall, so the compromise is it's much smaller, but still, a tall size will cost 90 calories and 9 grams of sugar and carbs. If you want the cold brew flavor with a natural sweetness without any milk or dairy, consider the Nitro cold brew. The only ingredient is coffee, but the slow steeping process makes it smooth, and the nitrogen infusion leaves a naturally sweet flavor with, and I quote, a cascading velvety crema. Perfection is served. Is it perfect? Nitro cold brew is not my thing, but it might be yours. As I mentioned earlier, if you want to add more than just the coffee and the milk, you could add syrup. They have sugar-free vanilla and cinnamon dolce flavors. They are sucralose-based, so if you prefer monk fruit, erythritol, etc., you won't be able to hit the mark with the sugar-free options at Starbucks. You could also add light toppings. The whipped cream and caramel drizzle will each add on about 3 grams of carbs. The chocolate drizzle will add 1 gram of carbs, and then you can always add the toppers like cocoa powder, nutmeg, cinnamon, and vanilla powder, which would each add less than 1 gram of carbohydrates. So there are some drink options to give you ideas on what to get at Starbucks this summer for lower sugar and lower carb options. And you can download the PDF that you can keep on your phone or print it out as reference for help determining which drink might be right for you with all of this information. If you want me to do something similar later in the year for warm drinks that are low carb at Starbucks, let me know in the comments below. Also remember, especially if you're doing keto and need to be extra mindful of the carb intake, no food or drink is necessarily keto friendly or banned. It's all about your own tolerance, and I discussed that in my Keto 101 video. Check out my crazy sugar comparisons video if you want your mind blown on just how much sugar is in some of the regular stuff we eat, healthy or not. Thanks so much for being here. I'll see you next week, and remember, it's all a matter of mind over much.